Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy a Spellslinger starter kit? No. I hope very much this video has been of some help to you. You can help me out by remembering to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and don't forget Instagram. Maybe you'll consider buying a Tolarian Community College t-shirt, Tolarian coffee mug, Tolarian playmat, Tolarian cell phone repair kit, Tolarian dice bag, Tolarian brand honey mustard pretzels, or Tolarian lapel pin at the Tolarian Student Store. And don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Friendster, MySpace, and Whomper. I'm up to 1,000 daily Whomps on Whomper, so be sure not to miss out. And this video... Okay. I will go into more detail, but I need to offer a slight tweak. Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, why is it not worth it to buy a Spellslinger starter kit? Presented as one of the ideal starting points for casual, new, and returning players, and priced at $14.99 each, Spellslinger starter kits have been radically redesigned since their first iteration. But are these still just glorified welcome decks or an actual deck worth starting with? Let's take a look. A Spellslinger starter deck contains the following. 2 60-card Magic the Gathering decks designed to be played against each other. Each of these decks contains 5 rares, meaning that if nothing else, your $14 is getting you 10 rares. Each deck also comes with a built-in tutorial teaching you how to play through it, as well as a illustrated rules guide, and of course 2 spin-down die. But before I dive into the various components, let's just start with the Galta Primal Hunger in the room. The Spellslinger starter kits come with a Galta Primal Hunger, which is, as of the filming of this video, an $8 card. So I have to admit, spending $14.99 to get an $8 card, plus 118 additional ones, many of them land, in 2 decks engineered for brand new players is already going to be hard to dismiss in terms of financial value. Maybe it was dumb luck that Galta ended up being worth so much, and it wasn't included with that intent, but nonetheless it is here, and that keeps it from being the exact ripoff that its previous iteration was. Older viewers will remember that by ripoff, the original starter kits were literally them selling free sample decks. It's $9.99 for something that Wizards of the Coast has given away for free for years upon years. Something that local game stores are told not to resell, that are given out as free samples at everything and every event imaginable, from gaming conventions to in-store events such as the Magic Open House. You do not sell free samples. Period. And if you'd like to see that full video, please do so here. But it was definitely one of the most offensive products Wizards of the Coast ever sold. But this, at least, well, I suppose they're trying to make amends after getting caught with their hands in the free sample deck jar, aren't they? Anything else of value, though, besides that Galta Primal Hunger? Anything else in those other 118 cards? Well, no other inclusions compared to Galta in terms of financial value. There is still some functional value here, meaning that some of the uncommons and commons are actually cards that you might play with in Standard. However, the rest of these rares are mostly draft chaff. Just a handful of singleton 25-cent cards, 15-cent cards. Wow, Demanding Dragon is 89 cents. It amazes me how intentionally stingy Wizards of the Coast still is in these designs. And no, I don't think that a starter kit should be stuffed full of cards like History of Benalia and other key expensive mythics, although Magic Arena's starter decks that they give you for free do come with History of Benalia and other high-powered mythics in them, but never mind that. Why only one Shivan Dragon? It's a 25-cent card not played anywhere. Why not 2 copies of it, or even 3? And yes, this is one of the many reasons why I prefer rookie decks. While they may not be standard legal, they actually have 3 to 4 copies of cards like Sheevan Dragon, Sengir Vampire, Giant Growth, and more, and they aren't just 1 to 2 copies of what is largely draft chaff. So how is it that a second-party company that doesn't have the ability to just print whatever card they want can actually do things like that, but the company for whom printing 3 Sheevan Dragons costs as much as printing 1 Sheevan Dragon, 1 Grave Waker, and 1 Dual Shot, how come they can't? Wizards should not have competition in this area, but they do, and rookie decks are even cheaper at only $5.99 each. But new players shouldn't be buying this for the financial value. New players shouldn't be buying this for pieces of a larger puzzle. I feel it is critical that those elements are there, and Galta is likely a huge mistake and not intentional on WotC's part, but either way, Galta does make this more worth buying and does add more value to it, but all of that aside, a newer returning player is purchasing these to begin playing the game or return to playing the game. Does a starter kit offer anything that, say, a rookie or even planeswalker deck does not? Yes. The built-in tutorial. Here's something I really love about the starter kits. They come with a sort of built-in tutorial. The decks are designed to be played initially without shuffling. They come with an instructional pamphlet, seen here, that actually walks brand new players through starting the game. There's one for each deck, and 2 brand new players can use these to actually have a practice game of Magic before knowing anything about playing Magic, and in so doing, learn about playing Magic. There's also the added rules guide, which is very well illustrated, something that they should be sticking in just about every product. Whoever put the rules guide together did a fantastic job. I like that this shows you how to utilize predetermined steps in order to get a full game of Magic. I like that the decks have been engineered with a specific order in mind. It's clever, and it's a neat sort of analog way to help someone who is brand new do the hardest thing that there is to do in Magic, which is learn how to play. They even have a nice included card going through the phases of a turn, yet I am disappointed and also just plain surprised that there's no code for Magic Arena included. You know, a little card that says sign up for free for Magic Arena, and an online tutorial will teach you everything else about the game. And also you can use this code also for free and will give you, I don't know, some stuff. Nonetheless, I do like the thought that was put into this, as at least they are trying to offer something more in the way of a new player experience. Integrate and sync up with Arena would be a great next step, and also looking to take these guides and integrate them with other products is also something I'd like to see. Packaging. Another huge fail is the packaging. If you'll recall from my previous video, at the time I couldn't be 100% sure this was actually an official Wizards of the Coast product. That's because the packaging looked like a cheap repack from MJ Holdings. But lo and behold, the previous iteration as well as this one are official MTG products. Why package it this way? Look at the edges of this. I bought 3 of these, and this was the least damaged one I could find to show off. And while I'm not a fan of Planeswalker decks either, at least they took the time to make the dull and uninspired intro packs jazzed up to be eye-catching and look incredibly inviting. When you see these 2 things sitting on the shelf, which one are you more likely to grab? But there's competition from non-Magic products as well. So take a lesson from yourselves or from Pokemon TCG and make big, bright, enticing packaging and artwork. So what is the actual gameplay experience like? Well, I like the tutorial as an instructor. As a player, I was eager to shuffle up these decks and get some practice games in. Now, there's actually a fairly good experience here compared to most products like this, but it still suffers from that inconsistent 1 to 2 card inclusion construction. I do like that we've got cards in here like Titanic Growth and Lightning Strike, albeit there's still 2 ofs. Playing those cards is fun. I think we should have had 3 to 4 of them. As someone who got hooked on Magic by casting spells like Lightning Bolt and Giant Growth, I will forever subscribe to the philosophy that new players need not have a dull Magic experience. Obviously, you can ease them into more complex mechanics and interactions, but there's no reason to give them a 3-mana shock, like the new Planeswalker deck has. Both of these decks have a satisfactorily powerful punch, which obviously could be amped up by multiples of the same rare, but the gameplay was demonstrative enough once the decks were shuffled. So it was good gameplay for a new player, not great. Anyone experienced at the game is not going to be particularly interested. And come on, 4 lightning strikes. 3, show these rookies what a real game of Magic the Gathering is like. They can handle 3 lightning strikes, I assure you. Final conclusion, these decks are not worth it for any existing player to buy. While that may seem self-evident for a starter kit product, even products such as Deck Builder's Toolkits and Planeswalker decks have appeal and purpose for existing players, whereas these do not. For brand new players or returning players who don't fully remember the game, the biggest appeals are the built-in tutorial, the fact that these are 2 60-card decks, that there is a rare of some value in the form of Galta, but I would still advocate walking instead into your local game store to pick up a pair of free sampled decks, which also have cards such as Shivan Dragon and Sarah Angel in them already, but instead of being $14.99 are free and also orient you towards your LGS. $14.99 is a lot for this. Free samples to me is the way to go. For 100% brand new players, I'll give these a lackluster C. They can get the job done and do have several pros which I listed above. I want to stress that for anyone that already plays Magic, which I am betting is 95% or more of you watching this video, these are of no value whatsoever. Even if you want a Galta, buy a copy at your LGS for $8 instead of $15. There's no other worth here. If you want a casual game with a friend, grab an old dual deck for a few bucks more. Now, I hope very much this video has been of some help to you. You can help me out by remembering to like, share, subscribe, or just by leaving a message. How did you first get into Magic the Gathering? Was it a good experience or a bad one? What do you think is the best way to get new and interested players playing this game? Let me know in the comments below. And this video is brought to you by my and many other people's local game store, Card Kingdom, a brick-and-mortar pillar of this community, as well as the Patreon support of viewers such as you. These are the people that keep Tolarian Community College going and growing strong. So thank you.